Today, we answer the question that literally nobody asked. Can you beat Borderlands 3 with only the Yellowcake? And this kind of Yellowcake isn't referring to the Dollar Tree cake mix your mom used to make for you when you were a kid. It's referring to high-yield uranium that makes my every dream come true. As far as rules go, there is only one. The only gun we can use is the Yellowcake. The only problem with this challenge is, you can't get the Yellowcake until around level 15. So until then, it's just my knife and grenades. Oh yeah, and if you don't think I'm going to abuse the mech, you are surely mistaken. And for once, we already know our name and our outfit. We're going to name her Barbie, and she's going to wear all hot pink. So after making Shiv suck on the end of this fire barrel, and then a few well-placed knives to the back of the head, we unlock our mech. Now after equipping our mech with the best weapons I deem fit, the game is officially put on easy mode. Well, I thought it was going to be easy until I realized without Guardian rank, I have to wait an eternity for my mech to come off cooldown. So I decided to grind Scrack until level 9 to try and give ourselves a fighting chance. Haha, nice. But without fail, we make our way to the Holy Broadcast Center. Okay, so this is working out. We're getting some good cheese now. After clearing the area of Tyrene's bandits, we make it to Mouthpiece. But he was no match for our sickle and hammer powered death machine. So then we take the key back to Lilith, but she tells us it doesn't have an up-to-date version of Windows, so we have to take it to Tannis for an upgrade. Now we just have to protect Tannis while her 56K modem attempts to download the newest version. Shortly after that, a couple of meanie Twitch streamers come in and rob Lilith of her power, and we can't have that, so we have to swoop in like a 1990s Megazord and clean the place out. After we get Lilith to quit chewing on sand, we finally get to head to the ship. Now we get to blast off, leaving Tatooine behind forever. Rest in peace, Scooter.
I gotta catch a ride.
After Claptrap almost kicks us all out of the airlock, we make our way to Prometheus to help Lorelei take back her city, and most importantly, her Starbucks. So you might be asking yourself, how do I know that Lorelei wants her Starbucks back more than anything? Because just like every other basic bitch in the galaxy, she finds a way to let you know she was a barista in every sentence. After helping Lorelei, Zero decides to watch us kill Gigamine like a cuck watching his wife from the corner. Iron Bear decided he was tired, so he quit shooting on the last bullet. Now we have to help the God Queen herself and that little orphan girl take back their monastery from a man that clearly wakes up to a couple rails of cocaine to the dome. Trant wants to fuck around and find out by standing in my way, so I have to show him why my Russian Jaeger is better than his Playmobil kid's toy. After only a few barrages from my Vanquisher rocket pods, he and his plastic piece of shit gave up on life and left me alone. Next we have to help Maurice help us by killing the guys who broke his arm. In all fairness, he did eat one of them for losing at a poker game. Now that we've collected the coordinates, our sights are firmly set on Joey, because he can drop Oppenheimer and Einstein's love child, the Yellowcake. After killing and have to take a 3-minute break between each area, we make it to Joey. So we explain to him politely why Rocket Pod beats Shield. Does he drop what we have been drooling over? No. And on top of that, he didn't spawn with Fish Slap or Tyrone, so we had to do the entire Villa Ultraviolet not once, not twice, but 3 times. But finally, Fish Slap released his clutches away from the Orphan Maker 9000. Is that it? Yes! Oh my goddess, you radiation queen. So we shot Joey in the face with it to show our appreciation. Excellent. But before helping Reese with his Katagawa problem, we have to help Barista Bot with his power issues so we can push our Tsar Bomba to the next level.
Well, like Brian, for example, has 37 pieces of flare on it.
Now that his flare is fully activated with his Monopoly Man mustache in full display, we can get our hands on the man behind unlocking our full potential. I thought shooting nukes wasn't good enough, so I decided I needed to double tap them with a grenade just to be sure they have been fully decimated. And this man drops the class mod that makes that fantasy into a reality. Now that we have this needless upgrade, it's time to show Maliwan soldiers the business end of our unicorn flavored Barbie's first blaster.
Not friends, Frogerts, anything but friends, Frogerts. They give you that.
After Katagawa destroyed the best Frogurt shop in the galaxy, I decided to take my anger out on Katagawa Ball with the 1 WMD George Bush couldn't get his hands on. I ended up dropping Katagawa Ball faster than your mom drops her panties when I walk in. Reese then lets us know Maliwan is invading Atlas like Columbus invaded Pocahontas' ass, so we make room in our busy schedule to help him out. Now everyone thinks Zero is on Katagawa's side, but we knew he was just on some Sam Fisher side quest, so he blinks into existence to save Reese,
and he starts to piss off into the distance like he was going to anyway,
leaving us to blast Walmart Zero into the Spider-Verse. After a few more well-placed shots from Oppenheimer's creation, his loot became mine. Then we let Reese know we think he wears his mustache like a 1980s state trooper.
Best thing anyone has done to their face ever. It deserves a medal.
Now Lilith wants to come with us to open the vault, but Maya tells her, no bitch, you're staying at home. So me and Maya take a trip on Ellie's Double D's to an abandoned subway. We politely ask the subway inhabitants to please vacate the area immediately. Did that person land all the way up there? We then find some remaining Iridians left behind to protect their vault, so we busted out our giant can of Raid and eradicated them like the bugs they are.
A center for ants!
Once we get to the vault, a budget kaiju tells us he's resistant to radiation. We asked him to prove it, so I proceeded to drop as many nuclear bombs on his head as I deemed fit. Yeah, it turns out he wasn't. After looting the vault, we come back out and instantly skip the cutscene because Maya doesn't die in my headcanon. Lilith then sends us to Eden 6, the Mobile, Alabama of the galaxy. Wainwright asks us to break Hammerlock out of prison, so we join up with the meat slab himself and hit these bandits into the next zip code. God damn. Tina is the embodiment of why you shouldn't stick a 12-year-old's head onto a 20-year-old's body. Jesus. It's getting out of hand right now.
You right. What was it again? Boo-boo chuckadoo? Zapper clapper? Hurdy-burdy gurdy man? Bird boy? Sad bird man? Bird brain? Something with bird.
We make it to Hammerlock, but the warden is in our way, so we show him a cheeseburger he can't eat. After only a few shots in between immune phases, he splats like a spitball in middle school. Now that Hammerlock is safe, Wainwright said he will unlock his secrets and help us with the vault key, and sends us to find his ship, the Family Jewel. A robot bear then calls out for our help because the T-Rex had mistakenly confused him for a Happy Meal. Ice-T convinced me to stick my finger in a wall socket. Then he promptly asked for my help killing his ex-girl bot. I obliged because I've been with a crazy bitch before too. We run into her after Balex gets his pilot's license. She's in a hopped up Japanese Jaeger, but it doesn't matter because nothing beats Moze when she drops an atom bomb on your head. So we head back to our ship, but Amber decided to hijack our ride and fly us into a fucking asteroid field. Back in Alabama, Wainwright wants us to break into his own house, but not before Hammerlock says we need to kill his space wizard sister. So we head there, then repaint the walls red and yellow like the inside of a McDonald's at Chernobyl. We meet Aurelia when she tries to hit me with a snow tornado, but she was no match for the nuclear winter I was about to bring. The Yellowcake and a few fireburst grenades later, and she was in the fridge. Finally, the Jacobs release their secrets and I head to the vault. But a giant tree stands in my way, and he has unlocked the secret to my power and stood just outside of my range. So now, teetering on the edge of death, I had to shower him with radiation, which had apparently leaked into its brain because he started glitching out in fear and let me send him to the afterlife the easy way. God. This was the toughest challenge we have faced yet. I meet up with Tanis, but she gets phase locked from downtown. Seriously, from like cross map, bro. Then we stop by to give Roland a piece of cake before moving on to find Tanis. Vaughn said Tanis was abducted by the Decepticons, so we hopped in our Barbie car and chased them down. Penn and Teller thought they could do a trick by being resistant to radiation, but I fooled them by playing a war of attrition. Thank God Moze can regenerate ammo because this was one tough boss to crack, but we finally bring them down. Also, I wonder if Teller voiced himself in this game. Tanis asked us to retrieve a reactor from her lab, so we gently remove it. Vaughn wants us to road trip with him, but the thought of that makes me want to vomit, so I leave him in his car like a child in the Target parking lot. Don't worry, I cracked the window. So we proceed to run as many stop signs as possible in our Barbie Corvette. Don't worry though, we are role-playing as a rich white woman in America. For some reason, Troy decided to phase lock Australia. Now we can take one of the twins from My Chemical Romance out. This man was no match for my Kate. His health bar dropped quicker than your mom can unbutton her overalls. If it wasn't for his cheap immune tricks, he would have been dead in seconds. Now with one of the siblings dead, we head to Necrotafeo because their daddy was very mad and wanted to speak with us in person. So we pulled up and his tone changed as soon as he saw Iron Bear and my unicorn blaster. Conveniently, he now has an idea to stop Pandora from getting split in half like my paycheck after child support. So we help him out with our nuclear waffle iron and slap Tyrene's lackeys out of town. But before we could ask Typhon for his blessing to bust up his other child with radiation, Tyrene kills him. So I guess the answer is yes then, right? Tanis then opens a portal for us to go to Tyrene's waterfront property, which must have cost her a fortune in this economy. But I guess she wanted to be murdered in a great location. I find out that the Yellowcake can't shoot through the tentacles like every other gun, so I have to climb on top of her and we form the beast with two backs. Now that her face is exposed, she realized she should have brought armor, because when I drop my money shot on those cheeks, she knows she isn't going to be walking right for weeks. Finally, bringing her down, we now have an answer to the question that nobody asked. Can you beat Borderlands 3 with only the Yellowcake?